Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Wrestling is Cool podcast, the coolest wrestling podcast on the planet, a podcast that will never ask for your soul. We just ask for your attention and sometimes your money over on patreon.com/SantiZap. Sancho, how are you?
I'm good. My soul is safe. I go to bed at night. And you know what? Maybe The Rock should ask for my soul. Would I give The Rock my soul if he asked for it legitly? Mehaps.
Mayhaps, my lord. Okay. What is a wrestling thing that you would give your soul for?
Oh, like like in my real life or in actual wrestling?
You know what? Just let's go with whatever you want to answer this with.
Okay. Actually, for wrestling terms, I would give my soul for the Money in the Bank because that's the only way I would win the Money in the Bank. Like win the championship. You know what I mean? That'd be the only way. I would do that old school 24/7 belt roll up that they did like 1,000 times as schoolboy. Every time, if I was a non-wrestler, that's the only way you can win a belt is that old school roll up while they're doing an interview or something. That's what I would do.
See, I think that's a good answer because you could say, I'll sell my soul for the Royal Rumble. Okay, you still need to go beat some 200+ pound monster at WrestleMania. Good luck, especially if it ends up being Gunther of all people. I do think that if you can't just straight up answer and say the World Championship, I feel like the next best answer, I think you found that. I think it's Money in the Bank because I feel like any Joe Schmo might actually have a chance at realistically winning a world championship. If the world of professional wrestling was a real world of monsters, it's the only realistic way to win such a thing.
Yeah, not such a bad take, isn't it?
No. Huh? Man, Sancho, we are getting roasted for bad takes and opinions. All of us here. Oh man,
no, we're good, dude.
I think the big difference is that I no sell it, and you're in the comments like, say it to my face. I'm right here. Say it to my face.
Hey, I'm the baby face here. You're the heel, dude. I have the heart of gold. I have the heart of gold. You're out here. You just don't. You're the Gunther of the world, dude. I'm the Jey Uso. You know what I mean?
I think it makes people really angry that I no sell when the masses are out to get me for popping for a certain wrestler. I'm sorry I ended up getting excited over one of TNA's biggest names coming over to NXT. I'm sorry that for you wasn't the big deal. Listen, the internet wrestling community is a vacuum. It is a cesspool of a vacuum that is not representative of what really the real masses think. And I take that in two accounts. One, in wrestling, right? I don't think that you can truly and fully go off of just what the internet wrestling community on Twitter says with regards to the feelings of things that are going on the internet. You know, you might think it might feel like everyone hates Damian Priest, not in that arena. It might feel like everyone hates that Jay won the Royal Rumble, not in those arenas. It's because it's a vacuum here where all of the most negative opinions surface. And it's the same thing in my ecosystem. If I see all of these awful things being said about me on Twitter, well, if they're not being said on Patreon, YouTube, or Twitch, why do I care? Like that's the actual SantiZap universe. They're the ones that actually dictate. If all of a sudden the YouTube comments, Patreon, and Twitch, they turn on me all of a sudden, then okay, I might have to look inward. But on Twitter, I don't give a damn.
I mean, that's the difference between you and me is I get it on Patreon. So
I feel like at the very least, the patrons can say what they want. You guys can roast us. You guys can hate us, belittle us. Thank you for supporting us. All right. It feels like you've earned it. You're allowed to do that.
Yeah, it's respectful. It's respect. We all have fun here in the Wrestling is Cool Patreon. I just think that when it comes down to wrestling takes, it should be treated like as if it's like a book or a movie. You should be able to have opinions on things like that. You know, you should have an opinion on the booking, or you should have the opinion on a wrestler, long as you keep it about that level. You know, long as it doesn't go any deeper. Like I'll never say like personally that wrestler's awful. You know, I just think that when it comes to, say, for example, Damian Priest, his booking is not great.
Yeah, when we criticize wrestling, it's not different than criticizing how they've written the most recent Batman movie or MCU movie or whatever. When we're criticizing, we're not criticizing the people. we're not criticizing the person playing the character. We're just criticizing how the character is being portrayed in this fictional ecosystem. And it's just so weird that providing that criticism all of a sudden bolsters up this fan base that takes it like personal, like as if we are insulting the actual human being behind the fictional character that's being presented to us. And yeah, I mean, that I think is just a wrestling quirk, you know? Yeah. I want to say that actually, but then, you know, the Star Wars people will also tell you just how toxic the Star Wars fandom is when it comes to criticisms and fighting off criticisms, etc. We're not a heck of a whole lot different.
I'm trying to think of a place that doesn't have any toxicity. I mean, even like children's programming has toxicity. It's kind of crazy, man, when you're a parent and you're like, oh, you think, like, for example, Bluey, by far, one of the greatest shows ever. There's people that hate Bluey and they think it's toxic. Like, wow. Who knew? Who knew that people could hate cartoon dogs? You know what I mean? I am the internet's cartoon dog when it comes to wrestling is cool. How can you hate me? I'm lovable.
People guy. Hate you because you rage bait. You rage bait for Santi, how is it that John Cena, blah, 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 what a piece of trash, rage baiter. You basically do. You basically do.
Why can I ask questions? All right, I'm just the Socratic way of speaking, Socrates way of saying, hey, The Rock literally has more appearances than John Cena in 2025. Is The Rock retiring, Santi? No. Isn't it interesting that John Cena, his little recap video, the Royal Rumble promo, has appeared more times on television than John Cena himself? That's not rage bait. I'm just asking questions.
Oh, it's such rage bait. Asking questions. On this episode, you can always expect Sancho's bad takes, rage bait, and Santi's genius thoughts, because this is the Wrestling is Cool podcast, coolest wrestling podcast on the planet. You can find this episode 3 days earlier than everywhere else.
Standout genius. That's all you are, standout genius.
You can find this episode 3 days earlier than everywhere else on the planet over on patreon.com/SantiZab. Not only do you get the podcast 3 days early, but you get the Raw reviews with footage, the SmackDown reviews with footage, the Undertaker WrestleMania watch along, the Royal Rumble watch alongs that we're doing, and the 5 weekly Wrestling is Cool Match Club watch alongs that we do that you get to vote on for just a cool $5 a month. What's up, Sancho?
2 questions. One, I was going to ask you this in private, but should I do, because we're doing the Royal Rumble, and now we're in the men's and women. Do I push those out every 2 weeks? Like 1 week is men, next week women? Do I upload a women's Royal Rumble midweek? We got to figure that out.
Oh, yeah, you've got a logistical nightmare here.
I do, because I could stretch this out 14 more weeks because I have like 7 more years left of Rumble to go to 2025. Or do we just knock it out in 7? I don't know. We'll figure it out. The point is like we're at that great point where we're getting into the women's Royal Rumbles. That's nice. Second thing is we have a fun little drive going for, this is a message for the Patreons right now. If you want to adopt a non-paying member of the Patreon, please let me know in the post that I posted, and I will link you with somebody who is a member. So just because you're not going to pay a Patreon, you should still follow the channel, because every now and then we release a free match club to the people. So you should definitely follow us on Patreon. It's free to do. And then you eventually get some free posts here and there. And maybe you get adopted by a paying member, a big brother, so to speak. Santi, are you the big brother or the little brother in this relationship?
Oh, I'm definitely
the big brother.
I'm definitely big brother. I'm definitely big brother. I got big brother vibes. I'm a big dude.
Yeah.
You're
a big dude.
Big brother all through. Have you ever considered going on a show like Big Brother?
The show where you live in a house with strangers?
Yeah.
Nah, man. I'm a slob, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I considered it. I considered it in like my 20s. I wouldn't be able to do it anymore. No interest.
Yeah, but you're a foreign Big Brother, and foreign Big Brothers are weird. Like those foreign shows.
Like international, like you're talking about Big Brother Canada.
Yeah. There's too risque, dude. You're gonna walk around with your cheeks out every now and then to get those
dude, I would do it, and every time you would see my cheeks, just know that I'd be thinking of you, Sancho.
Gross.
I'd be thinking of you.
Disgusting. You are disgusting, sir. But you know what else is disgusting?
Tell me.
The Rock's appearances.
Oh, buddy. Sancho, are we friends?
Is this a safe place?
Are we friends?
Sure.
Do you know that we're friends?
I think so.
I think the world knows that we're friends. I like to think that we're friends. After the
Okay.
podcast turns off, you and I sit back. We have a couple conversations, some laughs, maybe a drink or two. I'd say that we're friends. We've become friends. It's great that we're friends. Our wives are friends. Our pets are friends. Our rocks are friends. The Rock is friends with friends. Friends are friends with friends. Shut up, Rock. Oh my God, get to the point. Good Lord. The Rock's promo was maybe one of the worst executed promos that I've ever seen. But the thing is that the substance of the promo, I think, is really good. I think what's there, what it can lead to, is fascinating. But it was very clear to me that The Rock was improvising and didn't know what the hell he was saying. This was 30 minutes that, I'm not kidding, I genuinely believe could have been 10. I feel like they could have done a really impactful 10-minute promo that could have gotten us where we're going without this just run around of The Rock just artificially extending his essay word count with the same thing over and over again, dude. It was bad.
Don't complain.
I'm going to complain.
Fault. It's your boy's fault.
Why is it my because John Cena pointed out that The Rock can't cut a promo unless he's got it written on his wrist? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. You could have if that event that happened in a different timeline, we would have had notes written down on his wrist and he was able to nail it. The good thing about that promo is, like, you're right. The substance was golden. The substance has juice. You know, in theory, I think what happens is The Rock's schedule became available, or two things. Rock's schedule became available and he's ready to do a program up to Mania to build up to that. Two, Mania's not selling as much tickets as they want, and so they need a bolster Mania to have the thought of, hey, The Rock could appear at Mania to do something. So there's multiple facets around that. Bottom line, Rock showed up, took over SmackDown programming. They shifted, canceled matches, moved things around. The Rock didn't know exactly what 100% we were saying, but I think the biggest person that hurt the most in that entire thing is The Rock could walk his way and talk his way into something interesting, as he always does. And then when he gets recapped in the video, it sounds perfect, because when they played that recap on Monday, I was like, oh my God, this is the substance that we just needed to. But I think Cody Rhodes looks the dumbest in that entire promo. I mean, they probably told Cody, hey, Cody, The Rock's going to tell you something. Just sit there and listen to it and really don't really react to it. Because if it was CM Punk on the other side of that conversation, oh, man, we'd be getting a back and forth, and it'd be very exciting to watch this versus Cody sitting there with his belt.
Yeah, just sitting there waiting.
Yeah, I'm scared. There's certain things that I think that WWE did a service. That's why Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins look so good on Monday Night Raw, because that was much more a prepared piece of promo.
Yeah, it's funny because that Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes segment, that originally wasn't scheduled. It was supposed to be Seth Rollins, CM Punk, and Logan Paul to start the show. That's what was advertised. And I think The Rock's promo was just so bad and convoluted and didn't actually do a good job at getting people excited for that segment at Elimination Chamber.
Too confusing.
Yeah, so that they needed the Seth Rollins to turn that into regular human lingo so that it can actually be sold. And now I am excited. Now I am excited to see what's going to go down between The Rock and Cody Rhodes. But I hope The Rock comes far more prepared with what he wants to say here, and it doesn't drag on for half an hour, but I very well could see it happening. Also, you know what else was weird in that promo? The Rock turned babyface and heel more times than Big Show's entire career in one promo. It was 9 times, dude. No joke. It was 9 times. It's been counted that he jumped between loving the crowd, hating the crowd. Oh, it's the nuances of the final boss. I just think he literally didn't know what he was doing. I want to look at the substance of that. I want to believe that this is the character of the final boss, but I really just think he didn't know what he was doing.
I think I'll push back on that. I think he did know what he was doing. The Rock was trying to toe a line of. I made a video essay about this on my YouTube. I just uploaded it on Monday, the recording of this video on Tuesday. Is basically The Rock's the devil. The Rock is the devil. And what I said in this entire essay is that it has been said in so many different ways, and Denzel Washington said it in a quote recently in an interview where he's like, the devil will come to you when you're at your highest. Cody Rhodes is at his highest. And what did they say in this entire promos leading up to it? CM Punk said, "Hey, dude, that belt's gonna change you, man. As a friend, I'm here to tell you that you need to be careful." The Miz says you're gonna lose all your friends with that belt. It's happened to me. He lost Kevin Owens. He lost Randy Orton. He's by himself. So when you're by yourself and vulnerable and you're lonely, who appears? The devil, right? And that's The Rock. Now, the thing about what's most interesting is I'm gonna pair two things here, Santi. One, The Rock says, you want a life where you make everyone happy and you make your friends and family secured and all the fans in the world love you. I could give you that life. The second part of that is Cody was opening up that promo for Seth Interrupted and was like, yo, dude, I have friends, I have family, I have nephews in this business. I have a lot of investment. My entire legacy is invested in this business. And my dad, right? And he's like, The Rock he was about to say The Rock's going to provide something for me that I cannot secure or guarantee, which is my family's security. Now, the one thing that I'm going to find interesting is this is the ultimate test for Cody Rhodes. This is his final test. This is his final boss of trying to do what many others have failed, where Stone Cold has failed, whereas The Rock himself has failed. The only person that was able to succeed in this final test is John Cena. Cody Rhodes, Dusty Rhodes, hard times, daddy, right? That's always the thing. This is Cody's real hard times. Is he going to fold under this immense pressure from the ultimate authority, The Rock? And I hope he does, dude, to do something interesting, because it'd be easy for Cody to go, you know what, Rock? And I'm going to give you an answer here. And the answer is no, right? Either Cody could say that, and then The Rock could either beat him to a pulp, or The Rock could go like, all right, okay, Cody. And then things start happening around Cody to be like, all right, you messed up. So I do agree with you, what you said initially. The substance is gold.
It's good.
There's so many things we can go. The issue is it requires the internet, people like us, talking heads, and a lot of fans who have a platform of all different sizes to tell the people what The Rock actually means. So like that's what is so fascinating to me, is that it at least it allows a think piece, which I think wrestling needs more of these days. But it's fascinating. I like it.
Mm-hmm. What did you think about the post-match press conference where The Rock is completely out of character and explaining everything? And it was honestly a little bit jarring to hear The Rock kind of talk in third person about his final boss character and what the final boss is doing. Yeah, so it's interesting that the final boss could say, I want your soul. And then kind of like diving in. I felt like it shined too much of a light on the boogeyman, in my opinion. And I get it. This was mostly to promote WrestleMania 42. But so much of the meat of that press conference was about what just happened with Cody Rhodes and The Rock, as opposed to the actual, grandioseness of WrestleMania 42. I didn't really like the press conference. I felt it was unnecessary, and it belittled, in my opinion, the what happened before. And I also, what I really didn't like, The Rock talking about how this never has to come to blows. It doesn't have to come to a match. It's like, what? That's the whole reason why we've been considering all of Cody Rhodes' championship defenses as filler, because we've been waiting for the match with you, dude. I feel like this needs a match. And I understand that, when you look at some of the big names in this industry, you look at Stone Cold Steve Austin, his authority counterpart was Vince McMahon. John Cena had several, but you could say somebody like John Laurinaitis, if you really want to say that. And then Roman Reigns, Triple H, all of those were on-screen relationships, but all of those eventually had a match in some way, shape, or form. And I feel like we'd be getting robbed of an entire year's worth of a championship reign from Cody Rhodes if this doesn't have a match at some point down the line.
I think The Rock is just giving himself an out, but I think where the issue with the flashlight and the pulling back the curtain too far, it goes back to the first Raw on Netflix where Triple H had that little monologue about we are heroes and villains, heels, baby faces, we tell stories. And then it pairs with that as well, with Michael Cole going on Impulsive with Logan Paul saying we are not a wrestling company as much anymore. We are more in the business of storytelling. That's what we sold to Netflix, and that's what Netflix wanted us, because we want more stories. So I think what The Rock is trying to say is that, hey, this is going to be a place where the battle is not in the ring. The battle is about souls and immortality, like mental and emotional. It's going to be that kind of a storyteller, which is a new frontier for us. I didn't like that press conference because it was jarring, because it was as if he just stepped off a stage and he was like, oh, yeah, the final boss is a great character that I like to play when I really want to get into my toxic side. And it was just bizarre, because he's not, now he's wearing glasses. Now you could call him Dwayne. And I really did. It's kind of disservice to the art of pro wrestling, because that is a part of that art of pro wrestling, Santi, is the kayfabe nature, man. Like, Kevin Owens does it to a T. Drew McIntyre does it to a T. MJF does it to a capital T. But when the character, like you mentioned, right off the heels of one of the hottest, strangest promos, you go, who are you? Like, who am I talking to? Like that's what I always said. Like, if we were going to do interviews with wrestlers, I don't know how to talk to you, because I'm so entrenched with your storyline that I could talk to Dominic Mysterio and just be like, hey, how's your deadbeat dad? Or do I want to talk to him like a normal person, right? Like, hey, dude, how's it on the road? There's just too many different ways to approach this, but to do it so quickly after the moment of, you know what it reminds me of? Have you ever been to a laser tag and they turn the lights on and it just looks so,
You're like, oh man, I've just been beating up these children.
That's what it is, dude. It's just so disgusting. So it felt like the club lights come on, or the laser tag lights. And
It's so true, man. It's so true. That's a good way to put it.
It's like it reminds me as well as when you go to Disney World and they turn the lights on the ride and you're just like in a closed room on a little track. But the magic of wrestling is kayfabe too. And I know that we're all grown adults and we all know it's not scripted. It's scripted, but I at least want that magic preserved on WWE platforms. Does that make sense?
I 100% agree. And like, to an extent, it's hard to expect that kayfabe to stick around. Like when we see, for example, the Robert Downey Jr.'s of the world doing tours of, the upcoming Avengers Doomsday movie, or when he was doing tours of Iron Man or Avengers, he wasn't in his Tony Stark character during those interviews. He wasn't, pretending to be a playboy philanthropist billionaire wearing a magical metal suit. He is Robert Downey Jr.
There's no magic in that suit, Santi. It's science.
Sure.
Engineering.
Sure. Jarvis is totally not magic, bro. That was magic, man. He's magic.
He's artificial intelligence.
Bro, he literally turns into a magical being afterwards.
Because they extracted that artificial intelligence and put him in Ultron. And then the Soul Stone, that's not magic.
Literally what you explained is magic, in my opinion. Oh, he's got the Soul Stone. You hear yourself? But yeah, like we don't hold Hollywood to that standard when they're out of their traditional medium of movies or in the TV show. When they're doing the business side of those conversations, we allow them to be in their normal human self without it being like, oh, you're not actually Captain America. Why are you buddies right now with the Winter Soldier? You guys should hate each other. You know what I mean?
I guess that, but I think it's more it's more like reality TV and that person. Because I feel like the reality television star is not the same person that's portrayed on their show. You know what I mean? It's like them amped to 11. But I hear what you're saying. You're saying, like, why do we hold these standards? Because I think wrestling has always presented itself for a long time as real. Like, it's always been held to that sacrilege temple. And I think that's what the new era of Triple H is trying to say. Like, no. These people have lives outside the ring. They are just portraying these bigger than life characters, and we are an art form. We are theater, and that's just a hard place to come to, because Vince McMahon or other promoters would never ever cross that line. But I think what was interesting in that conference is that it was a blatant black and white. The curtain is off. Now I'm Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and that to me was strange, because the final boss is all over the place, and I'd rather him be all over the place as the final boss, not I'm Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it might just be a learning curve for the old heads, like the us of the world. Yeah. But the new generation of wrestling fans is just going to understand that. They're going to understand that the Chugs is not Adam Cole. The chugs is a totally different thing on Twitch. You know what I mean?
He's very clear about that.
Yeah.
He's very clear. He doesn't like wrestling mixing with the chugs.
That's and I get that. I totally, if you said that boundary, that's totally fair. We're gonna start seeing the world where when wrestlers go live on their Instagram, that it's not the character that you know. When you're on Twitch, it's not Zelina Vega. That's Thea Trinidad. That's streaming on her Twitch channel, et cetera, et cetera. I think that we're diving more and more into that world of the separation between when Raw and SmackDown and the PLE starts versus what happens afterwards. And it's going to be a little bit of a learning curve for all of us, but it's very clear based on what we saw here from The Rock and Triple H's press conference, where he basically told us kayfabe is dead. And that, you guys know, right? You guys know this isn't real. You guys know. You guys understand.
But I have a question for you. But is that the same for people like Cody Rhodes? Because there is no Dwayne, there is no Cody and Cody Rhodes. There is literally Cody, the American Nightmare Rhodes. Like everywhere I see Cody, it's Cody Rhodes. Does that make sense? Like there is no difference in how he is on a podcast, how he is backstage, how he is in the ring. That dude is Cody Rhodes. Like I can't see him any way. He's laid back, he's fun, he's charismatic, he could get intense like a real person when he's being challenged. He fights for what's right. He's a real American. I mean, I don't know what to say. Like, what do you want me to say, dude? Like, do you see there is a huge blurred line with Cody Rhodes compared to a Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, compared to a Kevin Owens, which we know he's not some guy who's watching his friend's family murderously through a window. We know that's not, you know what I mean? Like there's still wrestlers in the business like an MJF, like I mentioned, and in this case, Cody Rhodes, that are basically almost 1-to-1. Like they're very close to each other, how they are in and out of the ring.
Yeah, I think it's easier for Cody Rhodes to maintain that than like an MJF, right? An MJF having to maintain, okay, even if I'm in public or on social media, I got to be a jerk because that's who I am. But right. I think it's just easier for Cody Rhodes to, when Raw and SmackDown is over, to just be a regular normal dude and still feel like the Cody Rhodes that you know, when it might not necessarily be that when he's there in the moment talking to you outside of WWE parameters. I think that there are some characters, some wrestlers where that's easier for, to be able to not change too drastically between the show and when the show is off, versus compared to, like, I don't know, an Undertaker. You can't go around pretending to be dead.
I thought you were going to say Eugene.
Oh, Eugene's a great example. Yeah, that's a perfect example of like looking at the really absurd versus I doubt he's pretending to be mentally challenged in everyday life while going to McDonald's or something.
He has a YouTube channel now.
Dude, every wrestler does.
Dude, Maven.
Dude, Maven started it. Maven, and what's funny is that they're all becoming YouTubers. And what I mean by that is that they're all getting perfectly clickbaity with their title. Their thumbnails are just over the top, ridiculous. Yeah. And I look at that, I smile from a distance and nod like Alfred in Batman Begins, not Batman Begins, in The Dark Knight.
Dark Knight Rises.
Oh my God. Okay. Sorry. I'm going mobile. All right. I got it wrong.
You think it was real? Is that really Christian Bale and Bruce Wayne? Like, realistically, do you think the world's richest man could disappear off the face of the earth and just appear as normal day?
Of course not. Of course not. He tried to go mobile. They were expecting one of them in the Wreckage Brother. Something's gonna come out.
Alfred was just dreaming of Bruce being happy with Catwoman.
You think that's what that was? That he was dreaming?
It's Christopher Nolan. It's Christopher Nolan.
Know. He does.
You could never know
about dreams.
And The Rock's gonna come after you like Freddy Krueger in your dreams and steal your soul. That's what he's gonna do. What a creepy thing to say, though. What a creepy thing to say, and to go like, no, I don't want that. I want your soul, Cody.
It was great, man. Like,
right?
Like I said, like that portion, the last 3 minutes of that promo is all we needed. It really was all we needed. I really am curious as to if The Rock really just didn't know what he was going to say and came up with that on the fly last minute. It's like, oh, this is actually a good idea. Now let me add this here to my rambling promo that made no sense. I'm just glad it's over. I'm glad that the promo is done. I'm glad that we've extracted the good that needs to be extracted from the promo so that we can move on from how bad that was.
Okay, so we got there. We're there. We saw that phenomenal promo with Seth saying, I don't want to face the soulless Cody Rhodes that took the corporate out like I did when I sold out to the Authority. I want the guy that beat me at WrestleMania 38, the guy that beat me when I was one-armed in the Hell in a Cell. I want that Cody Rhodes. By far, best promo of Seth Rollins' career. Woo, I'm ready to go after listening to Seth Rollins at it. And now I'm like, WWE is so good, Santi, where they're like, okay, now I want to see this match instead. You know, like you're so excited about seeing CM Punk and Cody, and then when you see something like that, you're like, all right, forget CM Punk. I think there's more story substance with Seth Rollins and Cody, but there's so many good things. So we got that promo. Now we're here. Chamber, he's going to give his answer. I'm hoping it doesn't close, but it sounds like it might close.
It's totally gonna.
If John Cena wins Chamber, right? If that's is that the plan, then I think that closes, right? And the Rock promo happens middle of the road. But if I don't know, man. I thought initially when the Rock is saying the appear at Chamber, he's closing Chamber. He's main eventing Chamber again.
One more time, not letting CM Punk main event a WWE premium live event. Classic Rock. Do you think the countdown is how many main events he's going to steal from CM Punk from there on
Probably.
out? You know, Bad Blood, Elimination Chamber, WrestleMania.
Well, why did CM Punk? I want to see CM Punk go in on Rock, dude, for old time's sake. I'm waiting.
I think The Rock knows he can't box with God, bro. I think The Rock knows. Too short. Bro, if like you've already alluded to it, if CM Punk was across the ring from The Rock in that promo, CM Punk would have chewed him into pieces.
Right?
He would have absolutely chewed him apart.
You would have been like, you think I want your... You think I care about 500 million Instagram followers? You have nothing. They're all bots, probably, right? He could have gone off on that, and he would be like, but yeah, I think The Rock would have came back and was like, well, don't you want a main event WrestleMania?
There it is. He would have found the thing.
Right? He's like, I can make that happen for you now. CM Punk with just like that. Come on. So I want to ask you then, who's going to take, if Cody says no, who's going to take The Rock's offer? Who's going to take give him the Rock his soul for what
I did make a whole YouTube video on this if anybody's interested, where I talked over 6 different options of people who could sell their soul to The Rock. I think it comes down to to John Cena or CM Punk. I think those are the 2 most intriguing options. I don't think those are the only 2 options. You could talk about a Drew McIntyre, you could talk about Roman, Seth Rollins if you want, but I think it really comes down to John Cena and CM Punk. John Cena is obviously fascinating because The Rock this is what's the magic of us dissecting The Rock's terrible promo. Right. We can start to try and extrapolate and make sense of it, and then we start to make sense of it in ways that we think would make sense. Like how you mentioned, right? The whole I can make your life easier, all these followers, right, fame, fortune might work with Cody Rhodes, but like you mentioned, what would work with CM Punk? The WrestleMania main event. What would work with John Cena? John, I know you're trying to break into Hollywood. Your time in WWE is coming to an end. Wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice for you to be able to put down the boots after this year and take my spot as the biggest star in all of entertainment? The final boss can make that happen. 2 Bucks Productions can make that happen. You know, like you could run that angle with John Cena, but obviously it would be the angle about cementing your legacy, being the 17, being enshrined, having your statue outside of Titan Towers. John, I like what you could do with John Cena here. You could play on the insecurities of the man that's trying to reach immortality, but just seems to come a little bit too short. And then with CM Punk, that one's fascinating because, like you mentioned, the motivation is there with the WrestleMania main event, but he's also the most anti-authority guy that there is. And you would think that that's like the most impossible guy to turn, but then, you know, that was Stone Cold Steve Austin, the most anti-authority guy who eventually shook hands with the devil. So there's a blueprint there.
Heart. That handshake, but like it blew my mind.
It's like, there's a good blueprint there.
It's like respectfully. It's like when Greg Miller and Colin Moriarty broke up. I thought I would never see that happen.
It's like you're like, no.
It's like Mike and Mike on ESPN. Remember the Mike and Mike Golick and Mike Greenberg?
Yes.
Those
Yeah,
two
yeah,
guys,
yeah,
and
yeah.
they broke up like after 20 years. I was like, what is this? What's cool? So you said 6. Did you pick like Damien too?
No. The 6 would I listed off 5 there. Then Cody Rhodes too. Obviously, that's the 6.
Okay. You talked about The Rock not saying he's going to get physical. I don't think The Rock would get physical in this year. I think where the ending, if there was a GPS, like we always say with Triple H booking, in the ending moment would be The Rock getting beaten up. A la like, sorry for spoiler, Gladiator 2 spoiler coming in. Close your ears. Like the end of Denzel Washington got beat up in Gladiator 2, where this guy who's manipulating the gladiator.
Beat up. That's how you're gonna word it.
Let me finish my story. Let me finish the story. So Gladiator 2, Denzel's character manipulates a gladiator to get power in Rome using gambling and things like that, and influences from the senators. He makes his way and backdoors his way to being emperor, right? And I think that's what The Rock wants to do. The Rock has power everywhere else in the WWE. He said, I am the director of WWE, basically, WWE. And I have all this power, but I don't have power in the ring. And that's what he wants. He wants the control of the champion. That's why he's be my champion. So I think that's going to happen. He's going to try to control Cody or whatever champion wants to be in his control. And then at the end of the day, he's just going to get murdered, beaten up, and like embarrassed. And someone's going to stand over taller than him. That's the end road. Like The Rock will take a bump, but I don't think The Rock is going to wrestle anytime being, because I think someone said it really well. I don't know where I saw it because I've been, me in the comment section or everywhere, but he said, I don't see The Rock taking a pin before Rock versus Roman.
Sure.
Like, that's the end game. Like you cannot have
if it's still
Rock
on the table.
Yeah, if it's still on the table. Who knows what's on the table? And I want to put a pin in this question that you could sling out whenever you want. But we should really discuss, was it a good idea of turning Roman face? Because there is no big bad anymore in the WWE. Respectfully, the big bad was the Bloodline, and no one bought Solo as a big bad. Nobody. They were like, you're a Rhino of this world, low tier villain. Drew McIntyre, decent bad, not really mind. He doesn't care about the soul of the WWE. He doesn't want to take over anything. He just wants his, right? He's selfish. There's no big bad. And I'm not saying we need a big bad, but The Rock as the TKO soul snatcher, that's an interesting big bad to me.
Yeah, I think it's a really interesting point that you bring. Like, who is the big bad of the WWE right now? Like, you could say it's Gunther, perhaps, but over on Smack. What's that?
You climb Gunther. Gunther's a mountain. You climb him. You don't. He's not an overlord type of guy.
Yeah. You're right. There is a void right now in terms of the big bad of the WWE, and maybe that is the role that The Rock is going to need to play here going into WrestleMania 41. I don't see him having a match at WrestleMania 41. They would have advertised it long in advance to get as many of those seats sold as possible. But yeah, I mean,
stadium.
Big stadium. We'll see. I'm down for the ride. I think that they just need to make sure that Rock knows what the hell he's saying before he goes out there again. That's all.
You think
That's all
Undertaker gets involved? You're talking about souls, brother. There's only one dude in the WWE that deals with souls, and that's Taker.
Maybe. I mean, we already saw Taker get involved with The Rock. That's never really been explored again. I don't think they need to. I think Taker is just the spirit of WrestleMania, which is why he appeared. I don't think that they're going to explore that any
what
deeper.
If The Rock beats Taker down? The Taker could take a whipping bump.
Look at you, Taker. Mama Taker. I love how we both immediately went to Mama Taker.
Dude, there's nothing. I think like the Undertaker is the ultimate like legacy babyface. That if you hurt Taker, that's like a no. Like, look at CM Punk and Taker in that feud.
That's
when
fair.
He literally grabbed the urn that was supposed to have Paul Bearer's ashes in it, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
He interrupted a memoriam, which Percy Pringle did die of that recently. So it was just like, hello, what are you doing?
Good.
Hello,
You're all right. You're all right.
It was so close to actual real life, and then the Undertaker's doing his little taunt there, right? He's kneeling down, and then Like, good Lord. What a great build. That was a great WrestleMania right there. Taker versus CM Punk. I loved it.
Well, let's
That's
move on.
It's gonna be your number 2. I'm predicting.
Okay.
In your Taker review, number 2. I mean, I don't know. You seem like the kind of guy that would have Triple H and Shawn Michaels, that trilogy up there really high in their Taker review. Maybe you put Shawn and Taker alone up there. But
we'll see. Right now, Randy Orton's number 1. Right now, the Randy Orton Taker one is number 1.
Legend
but
Killer Randy Orton?
Yeah. But right now, I'm in the nasty stretch. I'm Edge, then back-to-back Shawn, back-to-back Triple H, then the CM Punk match. I'm in the legendary stretch of Taker matches, which is why you should come over to the Patreon and watch those with me.
Please, can you stop your morose emo vibe, brother? Please. Like, for the love of God, it's just because you're watching The Undertaker, the dead man, and there's a lot of purples and blacks and blues in the screen. That doesn't mean you start getting mopey.
For those that don't know what he's talking about, on The Undertaker reviews that I do, I have a bit going on where I always ask, man, this was 20 years ago. I wonder where these people are now. Are they still wrestling fans? Are they parents? Are they grandparents? They're probably dead. They're dead. Yeah. Then we just go into a conversation about mortality. It's good stuff. It's funny. It's a funny bit. Let's talk about something awesome. Liv Morgan versus Raquel Rodriguez, new tag team champions. What a match. I still think that the ladder match between Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens is the best match of the year, but I think this kind of gave it a run for its money in terms of just like a really well-structured, exciting wrestling match. This had it all, in my opinion. This had a story going into it. Whether you were into the story or not, that's a different thing altogether. With the attack of Jade Cargill, you had the potential for a surprise of the return of Jade Cargill. So the meat and the bones and the structure of this match was really well executed for a Monday Night Raw. And then the match, to me, that was brilliant. I thought the match was so good. Everyone looked like $1 million. The unsung hero of this match, Sancho, is the cameraman, because they did such a great job, with the exception of when Dominic Mysterio put the foot on the ropes for Liv Morgan.
The ref was right there.
Yeah, that was the one problem. But all the other camera shots where it was like a basically 3-pin that was broken up by the partner, I didn't see them coming. Right? They just appeared off screen to stop at last second. So I genuinely thought the match was done like 3 or 4 times. So that goes towards, giving a kudos to the camera people, because they crushed it. The women crushed it. That whole match was great. I just thought it was fantastic. It does bring about a lot of questions about the results, right? Like, what are we going to do here with Liv Morgan as a tag champion? Because Liv Morgan was going into Chamber with a lot of momentum as a potential winner. Are they going to give one half of the tag champions the win here and go on to WrestleMania, and then the tag team championships don't have a spot at WrestleMania? Maybe. I don't know. This now opens up the question of, will we get Rhea and Naomi going against each other within the Chamber because they're no longer tag champions? We'll see how all of
Bianca.
this Bianca. What did I? Oh, I said Rhea.
You said Rhea.
Yeah, that was weird. I don't know why I said Rhea. Yeah, Bianca and Naomi. Are we going to see them go up against each other? Maybe a feud starting on Friday Night SmackDown before Elimination Chamber. When's Jade going to come about? A lot of things now up in the air because of this match, but more than anything, that match was brilliant.
Solid. A little too much Dom for me.
I agree with that.
If I was like tasting it, I'd be like, a little dirty Dom here, a little too much dirty Dom. He like interfered like 3 times. But every time Dom does interfere, I just love how chaotic he gets on the ropes. He's like jumping in, you know what I mean? I love that Naomi threw him into the ring. It was really fun. I love the false finishes. I echo everything you said. My concern is that I love Liv Morgan, and I think that she belongs in the main event picture. If they are bold and brazen, like you mentioned, and they put her in like a 2-belt situation, and she has the world champion and the tag team champion, to be interesting. I wouldn't think it was that bad, because the tag team division of the women had got obliterated with the releases and things like that, sort of like Alba Fire and Isla Dawn are no longer around. Isla Dawn is not, but I think that wouldn't be bad to put them on ice for a little bit, the tag division. But man, I'm happy because Bianca and Naomi are no longer part of that division. They deserve to be single stars. They're great. And Bianca especially is missed sorely in the title picture. It's like she is a star and we know it. I mean, you saw in the Rumble when she had her moment, she's flipping over like 8 times in a row. The crowd is going crazy in Indianapolis. So I'm excited to see what a untethered Bianca could do. My prediction for Chamber is Jade Cargill is going to come in and break the cage because brother, Jade Cargill's ice cold. I don't even know if people as much as care that Jade's gone because how it's been booked. Like it literally disappeared off the face of programming for months, and it seemed like no one cared that Jade's hurt. Like they didn't describe her injuries to the point
No
where,
one
like,
on
she's
screen characters,
yeah,
not fans.
yeah,
right.
On screen characters, fans we cared because Jade's badass, right? We absolutely love Jade Cargill, but in terms of the world of WWE, like in that universe, which is what they love to use, no one seemed to care. Like no one's asked questions. No one seemed sympathetic. No one be like, I visited her in the hospital and she just disappeared. And also, logically, it doesn't make any sense. Jade could just say what happened to her. So in that logic, if Jade knows who did it, Jade's obviously waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike to screw that person over. And that person either is probably Naomi, right? So Jade's gonna attack Naomi in the chamber, and it's gonna be one of those moments where Jade's gonna come in and she's gonna look at Bianca, she's gonna look at Naomi, and it's gonna be one of those moments like, who is she here for? Like always, and she's gonna attack Naomi like, oh my god, it was Naomi that did it, because there's literally no camera there's no, you know what I mean, there's no witness like Apollo Crews witnessing all the things for Pretty Deadly.
Can we talk about how irresponsible it is of Nick Aldis to show that evidence that proved nothing to Bianca and to Naomi and allow them to go on a warpath off of nothing?
Yeah, absolutely nothing. It's like, that's not how you police work, brother. I don't know. That's not how you manage.
Batman is disappointed somewhere. He's not happy.
Have you seen Kai Cenat as Batman in his
I
Arkham?
have, dude. It's so cool.
It's so cool. My favorite character is the Robin character that comes in. But dude, yeah, man, the ladies ruled, and I think it was a great statement by that women's locker room to say we deserve more time, and they main evented that Rumble, the Monday Night Raw, and that was a solid, by far, by top to bottom, that Raw was solid. Like that was a great one to cap it off with that, and I don't mind, dude. Liv Morgan, Raquel baby, Raquel with those Tejana bombs. Magnifique.
And speaking of the women, it's interesting how immediately off the back of all of this criticism that's going on about women's booking in WWE, they are really the focal point of Monday Night Raw, not only in this great tag team match main event, but also Dakota Kai versus Lara Valkyria. That ruled too. And now they're actually like advancing storylines with Ivy Nile, who looked great with that title, by the way. Right? Bro, I was like, I kind of want to see that. So it looks like, at least at surface level, off of just that episode of Monday Night Raw, that they might be starting to do things with women's storylines in wrestling. And what's funny, Sancho, is that it's extra highlighted how poor the women's booking has been when you look at NXT, and where the booking has been amazing for the women. And so like you can kind of see a little bit. I see clearly how not great the women have been booked on the main roster.
Also, as well as I know you haven't watched LFG yet. The women on that show are so far advanced than the men, like in terms of just charisma, in-ring presence. I don't know all the wrestlers' names yet. I've just watched it, but there's a character. I think her name is Jordana. I could be wrong. She's a former Olympic gold medalist. Great in the ring, fantastic. There's a cheerleader from Penn State. They had a match, and it was so much better than the men's. It was really cool. I like that show. I highly recommend it. I thought it'd be really hokey, and you know how they did their previous show, the whatever Tough Enough or whatever that kind of. I thought it'd be like that, but this one's a lot better. Like the clips are too sensationalized, Bully Ray and the other guy, but when you get into the meat and potatoes of that show, it's a good watch, and they do a great job. It feels like the trainers really care, like they really want to develop a good wrestler. They want to find the next big star. And Taker is really interesting in that show because he's just like this old head, you know, trying to figure out what's going on. But back to what you were saying. Yeah, man, the ladies are stacked. And my only thing about the entire thing is when I think people had problems with the women's booking because we were ahead of this, Santi. Wrestling Cool has known about this. I don't know if we've been talking about it a longest time. Putting the belt in that vortex of Liv Morgan and Rhea and Dom, that love triangle, put that whole division on ice. It was entertaining to watch, but no one got up, and the only chance for someone to actually do something wrestling-wise in the ring was Zelina Vega. She messed with Raquel and called her, what did she call her? Sloppy seconds?
Liv.
Liv, right.
Yeah,
she called her sloppy seconds. And we're like, oh, Zelina. And we're like, we're going to get a feud with Zelina and Liv, and that's going to happen in the ring. And that just went totally away the next week.
But yeah, I think more than anything, too, it was really apparent how little ongoing plot narratives there were for the women specifically when we watched the Royal Rumble. When you watch the men's, bro, there was like plot storylines and threads from beginning to end with people within that Rumble. But then for the women, that just really was not the case whatsoever. I feel like the biggest one was Bayley and Roxanne Perez. And even that was an NXT thing that was going on at the time, not even a main roster thing. Because for the most part, the storylines that were being told on the main roster for the women either were very inconsequential or just not good. and hopefully with this kind of turns up the gear. The combination of the criticism, the great performances from the women here recently, hopefully this forces WWE's hand to really dive into women's wrestling and storytelling here going into Mania.
Is this a safe place?
Oh boy. All right, yeah, go.
The WWE and the women's division is seen in shambles. And guess what division says it's not the women that's the problem, like the booking, it's the women. It's the NXT roster, and they invade the main roster.
Sure.
The women of NXT say, we are here to show you that you've been doing it wrong, and it is your fault, and we're going to put women's wrestling back on the map and have our new revolution. And it's going to be spearheaded by Julia, Stephanie Vacker, Jordan Grace. Oh, imagine that,
sick.
dude.
That would be sick. Yeah,
and then you have the evasion angle. Always, I think evasion angle is always as well for the NXT. Like that's the best way to introduce NXT characters to the main roster. And imagine Jordan Grace showing up and just destroying Rhea? Oh my God,
bro! I still think they made a mistake with Jordan Grace to NXT. Not that NXT can't use her, but like they don't need her. They don't need her. No. But the main roster, they sorely do. Like I'm glad that Zelina Vega is going after the United States Championship. Okay, this is a breath of fresh air. That's good. That's good. We still need more in that division. And like I said, hopefully this is the first domino, the first bullet fired towards giving us something of substance here for the women moving forward. Solo and Jacob Fatu, they've got themselves an interesting little love storyline here. We now have Solo kind of telling Jacob that he loves him. He's trying to get into Jacob's good graces here. It also seems like the Rock segment completely canceled anything that they may have been working towards with Cody Rhodes and Solo Sikoa. Did it not feel that way? That Solo got completely pushed aside for whatever it is that they're doing with the Rock and Cody at Elimination Chamber? Because it looked to me like they were doing Cody versus Solo again at Elimination Chamber. Did it not?
Well, you said you didn't want that.
I didn't want that. I'm glad I'm not getting it. I'm glad I'm not getting it.
You were like, hey, clown, do you want this again? Clown. And I was like, sure, I'll take it. What else am I going to do? I needed Cody at Chamber, and we're going to get Cody at Chamber. But poor Solo, brother. He worked so hard to build up to something. And then in a moment, it all vanished. And then when you look side by side, it's like when you have two cars. You're trying to buy a car, and you put them side by side. Like, ooh, this one's a lot nicer than the other one. This one actually has air conditioning and heated seats. And
this one can cut a promo.
Oh, I feel bad, dude, when Solo started, and I know they're building up for the feud because Solo's like, hey, Damian Priest, we're going to come out to you. And Jacob goes, TP, you think we're all going to be like this? I'm all gas, all brain. You're like, whoa. Whoa. Clearly, this one knows what they're doing, but I don't know, man. I've always was giving Solo his flowers because I always appreciated the maturation of just him from going to absolutely saying nothing to being somebody that was into a weekend knockoff, but it's a hilarious heel, to now that he's a second fiddle of Jacob Fatu. I don't know that doesn't work for me, brother. I don't like Solo Sikoa being the second-hand man to Jacob Fatu's faction.
Well, that's what's I don't know, man. What else? What's the other play? That's the thing. Like, what else do you do with Solo? I think at this point, Solo's most valuable contribution is to help elevate Jacob Fatu. I genuinely think that now that the whole storyline with Bloodline 2.0 is over, he's already lost to Roman. There's just nothing left. So you got to just rinse him for whatever storytelling value there's left. And I think it's just to make Jacob look better. So, bro, with a straight face, tell me I'm not right. I know I'm being harsh, but tell me, I want to be wrong. Tell me I'm wrong, because I don't think that I am.
Okay, so this is what's happening. Solo's getting turned into Loki. Bad guy, now turned good guy, nerf, not as great. And then what's going to happen to Solo? Broken neck by Thanos. Like, that's what's going to happen to him. He's going to be sacrificed, and everyone's going to feel sorry that Solo sacrificed himself.
Isn't that, I haven't been following too much on the MCU. Isn't Loki back and like incredibly powerful?
It's a different timeline.
Oh.
On another timeline, Solo Sikoa is still the Bloodline tribal chief.
Okay, so the Loki from our timeline, he still has his neck snapped. He's still dead.
Yeah, he dead.
He did.
He purple monster dead.
Ooh,
like
Barney,
right in front of his brother Thor. Braun Strowman.
I knew it. I knew the Braun Strowman was gonna come out. Jason Statham, Braun Strowman.
No, I'm working on it. It's Hey, so I'm Braun Strowman. Santi.
Okay, I want to stop you for a second. I want you to say a sentence without starting it with Braun Strowman, because I guarantee you can. I guarantee you, if you don't say Braun Strowman, that you just turn into Jason Statham. Go.
Damian Priest, I hate you. I'm Braun Strowman.
You don't stop adding on Braun Strowman.
I've been working on it, because you gotta be way down here.
Do you have to like break your neck like you're doing it right now?
You guys to cut off your vocal cords and everything. Yo, we got characters here, dude. We got Rey Mysterio,
and
Braun Strowman.
I mean, you're the characters here. You're the one that does all of the impressions.
But okay.
I can do a decent Bernie Sanders. I'm once again asking for your financial support. That's all I can say too.
Okay. Jacob Fatu.
You're just going to no-sell my Bernie Sanders impression?
Yeah.
All right.
Jacob Fatu has a problem. It is Braun Strowman, right? So how is Solo going to help Jacob here?
How is that a problem? He killed him already at Saturday Night's main event. Oh, wait, it's not canon.
No, he didn't, because Braun Strowman literally obliterated the Bloodline, or this faction of Jacob and Tama Tonga. He hit him, boom. He hit him with you ever seen Marvel Rivals? There's a new character called Thing. Thing has this thing where you press left shift and go boom, and he hit him with a knockback. That's what he did. And Damian Priest wins again.
So what do you think is the Mania match here for Jacob? Is it Solo or is it Braun?
It can't be Solo. They don't have enough time to build this up with Solo. Solo has to screw over Jacob at some point, and what a better place to do it than Mania with his black hoodie.
Oh, again? God, that'd be so lame.
What if Solo hits Jacob with the thumb? Boom, and Jacob goes,
yeah, he does his dance, no-sells it. Man. I think it's going to be Solo Jacob at Mania.
I mean, they have to fast-track that, like, immediately. And it can't be like, yo, so, Jacob, you're interrupting me when I do my promos, and now I hate you. It can't be that. It needs to be that Jacob Fatu says, Solo, you're the weak link. I don't need you here anymore. Leave. That's what needs to happen, because that's what's clearly what's happening. Because Jacob Fatu says, "Dude, I don't need you. You're like ruining what we have now. We've been taking over, and now you're back, and you kind of suck."
Yeah, you're ruining our vibe. You can't sit with us. We need the Mean Girls moment. The you can't sit with us Solo.
So Solo's Regina George?
Yes, yeah, literally. No. So we're just waiting for Jacob to say, "Regina, I hate you." It's gonna happen. I love that the Bloodline has turned into Mean Girls, bro.
Is Saga Loa the girl that says it's raining outside when it's clearly already raining outside?
Yeah.
She's like, I'm a mouse. Duh.
I'm a pirate. Duh. With the eye patch.
Why are we like this?
It's gold, man. It's gold. It's good stuff.
Derek. Good stuff. Do
all
you
right.
miss Tongaloa? Do you like? Do you do
I mean,
like
for the
the
memes, for the
do
jokes,
you
yeah.
do the Stewie Griffin thing? Go now. I will go to sleep.
Yeah,
Poor Tongaloa's not
I'm
around.
Wolverine holding the picture frame of Tongaloa in my bed while wearing my uniform. I mean,
It's okay.
it'd be fun to have Tongaloa in the mix right now because it would feel like, from a visual perspective, it would feel a lot more impactful that Solo has lost a whole faction as opposed to just a tag team. You know, even if Tongaloa isn't, you know, the greatest, just him as a body there would add a lot more to the story, in my opinion.
I feel there's like a lot of rumblings that Zilla Fatu's around the corner, and
I don't see it.
I look at Zilla, and he has ways to go to work the WWE style, and I would love to see him in NXT just like Solo did, but I don't know, man. I don't know where you go with this Jacob and Solo. I just think there's not enough time. I mean, you have to work in The Rock, which takes up a lot of time clearly, and everybody else, and this Jacob and Solo thing feels like it's too new. It'll blow up in Mania. That's what I think. I think at Mania you give like Jacob Fatu. I would hate another match with Braun Strowman.
Stop. I hate this. You're gonna kill this voice like we killed the Rey Mysterio voice.
No, Ray. Well, the New Day beat up Ray, so
Ray's what if we do the rest of this podcast with me as Rey Mysterio and you do your Braun Strowman impression? How fast do you think people would click off from this video?
Oh, well, I think it'd be out pretty fast. Dude, Braun Strowman's this generation's Big Show for some kids. They love him.
No, Braun Strowman's so much better than the Big Show. Don't even compare him to that bum.
Excuse me?
You heard what I said. You heard me.
Braun Strowman has a Netflix show?
Wait, he has a Netflix
Was
show?
Braun Strowman in Jingle All the Way?
Oh, God.
When he goes, I'm going to deck your halls, bub? Like, come on,
oh, God. I like Braun Strowman way more than I ever liked the Big Show.
Is Braun Strowman Captain Insano? I think not, sir. Yeah. You see the light now?
No, I don't. Logan Paul.
Do.
Let's move over to Logan Paul. We could talk about CM Punk here. I mean, we could talk about the Chamber. I think we should do. Sure. We didn't even talk about this. Are we going to do a predictions conversation about the Chamber?
Oh, that's separate. Oh,
yeah. Yeah, we probably should.
You're the one who has to do something later.
I know. We'll find time to get our Chamber conversation in. Logan Paul and CM Punk, without going into like who we think is going to win the Chamber and whatnot. I still don't buy what WWE is trying to sell me in terms of trying to trick me into believing that we're going to do Logan Paul versus CM Punk. I still firmly believe that the promos between these two are so surface level, so one-dimensional, that it doesn't scream like, oh yeah, these guys need to go at it at WrestleMania. I'm not buying it. I feel like, weirdly enough, John Cena is a far more Logan Paul friendly WrestleMania opponent than CM Punk ever will be. And I hate saying that because I don't want it to be Logan Paul versus John Cena, but I feel like that's way more likely than Logan Paul CM Punk, even though we have been getting Logan and CM Punk over the last couple of weeks on Raw. But they're two of the only three participants on Monday Night Raw in this match. So that might just be the only reason that they're just hyping Chamber, not necessarily setting up for our Mania match or a feud.
It doesn't like it's more like an artisanal promo battle, like a couple of years ago was LA Knight, or last year was LA Knight and Logan, right? Like CM Punk could deliver much more cleaner, hard-hitting lines.
Way better.
LA Knight. Because it's the same thing. It's the same thing that people are going to go always after the Logan, but CM Punk says it better. It's like, at the end of the day, I'm a legend and you're a nobody.
You make YouTube videos for 12-year-old girls.
See, there's a little bit of a...
All right, LA Knight. All
right. Because the thing about LA Knight is like he is so that's the surface level king, brother. He's going to hit you where it doesn't make any sense. And Logan's
you're a goober. You're a nerd. It's like, all right.
Yeah, I don't know. And then Logan's like, all right, whatever, right? There's no one thing else you can say. But with CM Punk, there is a little bit of a nuance to it, and I love the conversation about it. I don't know, man. This is a different Punk. If this was Punk before he got released in WWE in before he left in 2014, I don't think he works with a Logan Paul. There's just no way, right? I mean, if he was scared to death, if he was like so hated working with Ryback, and that guy was super green in those days. Wouldn't you want to be afraid of working with Logan Paul, who's still green? I mean, he's great green, but he's still green.
Yeah. Yeah. I I think the CM Punk that we have nowadays is about the business and what's going to put the most butts in seats and what's going to bring the most eyeballs and grow the product. And if he feels like that's a match with Logan Paul, I feel like he would do it. But I think that that's not the match. I really don't think that that's the match that they need to do. I think CM Punk fits better in other places, and Logan Paul could have more. Here's the thing. Okay, I'll say this. Logan Paul, in my opinion, when it comes to feuds, big feuds, I feel like his opponents need to be more willing to have fun. Like, for example, his Mania 39 feud against a kooky, wacky Seth Rollins, right? That was the Seth Rollins that was really out there. And then with Kevin Owens, who like leans into crazy stuff and craziness. And I just don't see CM Punk being that fun guy that's really there for the social media buzzworthiness. I still think that that's John Cena.
I think the best opponent for Logan Paul at Mania is AJ Styles.
I'll take that. Here's the thing. I'll take AJ Styles, but I've already kind of like married myself to the idea of AJ Styles and Braun Breaker. I'd love to see that.
Oh, you need Finn Balor too.
No, you don't need Finn Balor for anything. What do you need Finn Balor for? For a triple threat? So he just takes the pin? That's it? Well, Is that what you want Finn Balor in there? You just want to continue to perpetuate the fact that he's a loser that just keeps taking pins, whether it's a one-on-one match, triple threat match, fatal four-way, whatever it might be. That dude is so bad at getting pinned, that man will find a way to get pinned at the Royal Rumble. He is just Pin Balor, brother. 10 years of getting pinned. That's what that shirt said. 10 years of being a loser. That's what they've done to our poor boy Finn Balor.
It is time for Finn Balor to rise.
Rise.
Oh, rise, Finn. It's his time, brother. It's his time. I watched Royal Rumble 2018, and that Finn Balor in that Rumble was amazing, dude. His like that entrance he has.
Rise
he
to
has
what?
Aura, dude.
To Braun Breaker?
Rise to his old self, dude. Go for gold. Get singles gold. Break away from Judgment Day. I'm tired. Like, what happens with Judgment Day? Because Dominic and Liv and everybody is besides Carlito is so young, right? That whoever's the leader becomes just an old dad vibe. And Finn Balor, he's like, all right, I will knock off the nonsense. You're like, dude, that's not you. That's not Damian. Go do your own thing, Finn Balor. Go be with JD somewhere, because Finn Balor, dude, that guy who had the world in his palm, brother. He had the whole world in his hand, and he got hurt and it all went wayside, man. If he never got buckled bomb into the barricade and hurt his shoulder, this guy would be on the top of the mountain. That's the potential of Finn Balor. And you sit there and you disgrace him by calling him Pin Balor.
I don't do it. The world does it. The world is calling him Finn Balor.
Triple H does it.
Pin Balor.
Did you see when he stared down? There's nothing in your loins. When
it did. It did. I was like, ooh, someone new for Braun Breaker to pin. Ooh, that's what I thought. No, I'm just kidding. I think that would be a good match, but like, I'm far more excited about the prospect of Braun Breaker, AJ Styles. If it was Braun Breaker, AJ Styles, Finn Balor, that's somehow less exciting because I just know Finn Balor's just going to be there to take the pin.
Or Logan and AJ Styles.
Logan and AJ Styles sounds great too. Look, if we live in a universe where it ends up being Logan, AJ Styles, Finn Balor, Braun Breaker, I'm fine with that. That's great. That's a good timeline to be in because it protects Cena from Logan Paul.
Well, first off, I think Cena, the reason why a lot of people are very protective about this Mania card is it's Cena's last ride, and you want it to go be against a CM Punk. Like, who more? I mean, on paper, I don't know how great of a match that would be, but in legacy standpoint, if you were going to look at the record books and see at the end of the day, John Cena's last Mania opponent is CM Punk, that'd be awesome. You'd be like, yes. It should be that way. Yeah,
CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, like those names, right? Like if it's his last Mania is Logan Paul, it's like,
how would you feel? Huh? Little John Cena fan, huh?
I mean, like I've said this before. I love the idea of running Logan Paul versus John Cena at any other PLE, literally any other PLE, or literally any other WrestleMania, just not his last one. Now, There's a great YouTuber. I love this guy. His name is Good Mic Work. He's
Sancho
been
West?
doing no, Sancho West sucks. Good mic work. I've been watching this guy for what feels like 15 years now, since being in my college dorm room, and he made a point about like, you know, why do most of you even care about the fact that his last WrestleMania match could be against Logan Paul? Most of you were assholes towards John Cena throughout his career anyway, and you didn't care, and you wanted this man away from the business, and you thought he was basically a disease to this company, and now all of a sudden you want to see him go off in this triumphant way. Like, who cares? If it's Logan Paul, it ends up being Logan Paul. I don't fall under that category. I've loved John Cena for a really long time.
I don't know. You sound pretty adamant about it. It sounded pretty real to me.
What sounded pretty
like
real?
That you believed in that, you know?
That I believe what Good Mic Work said. I do kind of believe him. I do feel like the John Cena haters should not do not get to whine as much as the John Cena lovers. We get to whine.
Sanders. Say this as Bernie Sanders. Go.
I'm once again asking for you to allow me to complain.
You butchered it. It's not there anymore.
Well, just like you're Braun Strowman, you can only do it if you say, I'm Braun Strowman. I can only do it if I say, I'm once again asking for your financial support. I can only, and then
they keep going. I mean, I feel bad for you, John Cena fans. That's why I said, is it a good idea to announce his retirement? Because it's a lot of pressure to say this is his last Mania. Imagine if we didn't know his last Mania and his opponent was Logan Paul. You'd be like, oh, great. This is a very interesting Mania match. I mean, compared to Austin Theory, where he gets beaten down in front of Make-A-Wish kids, right? It's a huge
Dude, why do you have to put it that way? People always put it that way, and it always makes me laugh. Yeah, Austin Theory in front of Make-A-Wish kids.
He brought them all out from the entrance. Come on, dude. I was
That's
there.
crazy.
I was sitting there in my luxurious suite, and I was watching
luxury
all these
box.
Kids. Yeah. But I think that's what it is, dude. Is I'm gonna be here to be that guy, to be your release valve. Okay, I'm gonna be your protector. I want to protect you. Yeah, release valve. Okay, what's the problem to be your release?
No, it's
valve?
all right. You can be my release valve.
Absolutely.
I have a lot to release.
I hope so, because there's a lot of pressure for you as a John Cena fan to enjoy this ride, because there's gonna be a weird booking decision that you're gonna hate. And what if it is John Cena taking The Rock's hand and going, yes, I will sell my soul. I'm
in. Like the thing about the John Cena retirement tour is that I have no choice but to be in. You know what I mean? Like that's also, I guess, one of you could call it a positive or a negative side effect of knowing that this is it, right? Knowing that, hey, like whatever it is that they do, I just kind of have to be in, because it's the only thing that I got. Do I really want to sour myself on John Cena's last run when I'm not going to have John Cena again come back to fix said bad run? I'd rather just blindly enjoy this, brother. I'd rather just be a WWE drone and just be like, yeah, John Cena, this was so good. You know, like I'm down for that. I'm in to be indoctrinated.
You do the Cody Rhodes
yes.
thing?
John Cena. He's great retirement tour. He's the GOAT. For those that have never seen that, you don't know what I'm referencing, but trust me, go look up. You need to see it.
Before you post anything out of context. Looking at you, Santi's out of context, but yes.
Yeah, you need to find the Cody Rhodes channeling the ghost of Vince McMahon or whatever it is that is. That's what it is.
It's the exorcism of Cody Rhodes, basically. Because he's going through it. And it's so funny that they brought him back. It's fascinating. The Chamber is fascinating. I think only good things come out of the Chamber more so than the Rumble. I feel like the Rumble was at a point where you would hope there'd be more, but I think that this Chamber, it feels like there's more stakes. This is Santi. If you're watching on the YouTube, this is Santi at Chamber. He is confirmed to go to Chamber, and he's going to be as Doc Ock, not Dr. Octopus.
Dr. Octopus.
It's not Dr. Octopus.
I'm going to Google it right now. His name is Dr. Octopus. Dr. Octopus. Dr. Octopus. See, that's his name.
Why are you hitting puss so hard there?
Dr. Octopus. It's right here. The Wikipedia page, if I look it up, is Dr. Octopus. His name is Dr. Otto Octavius, but But
Imagine if Spider-Man was saying that, like hitting it, like and Doc Ock's like, well, you're hitting puss really hard there, brother. Not this time, Dr. Octopus.
Yeah, so if you see me at Chamber, I'm gonna be there. Do not hesitate to come say hi. Even if I'm gonna be filming a lot.
Don't look at his eyes. Don't touch him.
Don't make eye contact with me.
Don't make eye contact.
Okay, if it looks like I need to take a piss, just follow me to the bathroom and have a conversation with me while just do that. Because otherwise I'm gonna be angry in our conversation. I'd rather just at the stall have an adult male conversation at the urinals. Some of the best conversations happen at the urinals, Sancho.
I don't talk to anyone at the urinal. What's wrong with you?
I have lots of conversations at the urinal.
Oh, come on.
No, I'm just kidding.
You haven't.
No, in college I did. In college, drunk all the time, bro. All the time.
Yeah. You know what's weird? Why in this world, in a society, in a modern day, why do we live in a society in modern day America where they thought, yeah, all guys could pee in a trough, no walls, just a trough. It makes no sense in a stadium. The worst place in the world to decide, yeah, pee in a trough with ice on it. It makes no sense. It's barbaric.
It is genuinely barbaric. You know what makes it less barbaric? Hey man, how's it going? How's your day doing?
No. You know what else is wrong with
you here with the family? You enjoying a nice night out in the ballpark with the family?
Let me finish this rant. In the bathrooms, in American bathrooms, why do we have slants in the stalls? Why is there a little opening? It makes no sense. In European, it's all the way closed, brother. I don't want to have to sit there and all of a sudden I make eye contact with you with one eye.
Bro, I'm making my mission whenever I see somebody in there taking a dump just to make eye contact with them. It's like I know what you're doing.
Okay.
I know what you did last summer.
It's a bathroom. What else? First off, Santi, I'm excited for you to go to Chamber. Is this front row situation? Are you hard cam? Where are you?
Third row.
Third row?
Yes.
Jesus.
Third row. I don't know if I'm hard cam because it's not a traditional arena show. It's a little bit wider and far more vast because it's the Sky Dome. I'm pretty sure I am hard cam because behind me, how do I say this? Okay, so they didn't sell the whole stadium. Half of it is tarped off, and the half that is tarped off is in front of me, which means the full stadium is behind me, which I think that means I'm hard cam, right? I think.
Yeah, we'll see the back of your head.
No, why would you see the back of my head?
Well, it's in front of you that's tarped off?
Okay. All right, so it's me third row, ring in front of me, and then beyond that it's tarped off.
Oh, it's hard cam. Yeah,
so I think I'm hard cam, right?
In middle left, right?
I'm dead center middle. I did my best to be as middle as possible for Chamber because if you're close to the sides, you're actually obstructed by the pods.
Yeah, I hate that.
Yeah, you're and those tickets were actually significantly cheaper because are actually obstructed.
What's your setup here?
They're definitely going to be a lot more strict, bro. I could have brought in a pew pew at SummerSlam. They did not metal detect me. I literally had in my pocket a giant camera, a bulge of equipment hanging out of my pockets.
Well, maybe they thought you're,
I'm just a dude.
Maybe they thought you were like, whoa.
Whoa, look at this guy. Hey, I'm not messing with that guy. You see what's in his pants? No way.
You're a tall guy.
Yeah, I'm just bringing phones. I am going to be filming with phones, but I will be in and around
meta glasses.
I don't have those. Sorry, I'm not rich. I will be in and around the stadium in the city of Toronto vlogging. So if you see me, feel free to jump into the vlog. It's not a big deal. You're good, brother. That's what I'm there for. I'm there to film the experience. Should be a good time.
Can you ask for people, like, instead of saying, can I have your hot take or your fantasy booking, go, can I have your Sancho take? Can I have your safe place take?
Would it hurt your feelings if I just included people that say, who's that?
They probably would say that.
Well, it depends, right? If they don't listen to the podcast, they might not know because not everybody listens to the podcast, but they're missing out. Missing out. But yeah, it should be a good time. I'm excited for Elimination Chamber. I think it's kind of crazy to think about that I'm going to a show that's got 3 of my top 5 favorites of all time: The Rock, John Cena, and CM Punk, all in the same show. And then you add the
Cody Rhodes in there. Wow.
Cody Rhodes is not a top 5 for me.
Wow,
But he's
Cody
great.
Hater here.
Not a Cody hater.
here.
But I might have 4 of my top 5 if Randy Orton shows up, because there's a lot of hoopla about maybe him showing up during the unsanctioned match. And it would really just be the cherry on top if Roman does show up and
it's
attack
a
Seth
bummer that
Rollins.
Rhea's not there.
I think
Rhea
it is a
should have
bummer.
match at Chamber.
I agree. I feel like they've handcuffed themselves with whatever is going on with Io Sky and whatever the Chamber winner might do or might not do. I would have loved Rhea versus Io at Elimination Chamber. I really would have.
It would have been great. It would have been great. I have a question for you, sir,
Hit me.
while we're pivoting away for Chamber for a second, because we're going to do a podcast on the whole thing soon. Is there a way to fix Judgment Day?
Yeah. Disband it. That is the best thing that we can do, unfortunately. Listen, we know where they're going. They're going towards a new member. I don't know that a new member is
Tongaloa?
what fixes this. If it's Tongaloa saved, that's how you save this faction. Absolutely. I patch Tongaloa, it's game over. But I feel like, unfortunately, the real answer is just disband Judgment Day. It is a shell of what it was. It is no longer representative of what the faction was in the first place. I don't see a long-term potential for them anymore, unfortunately. And I don't know that adding a new member is what fixes this. I just don't know who they could, like, if it's not Aleister Black, if it's not Aleister Black, like if it's not, what do we do?
What if he was on camera?
It's so good.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, his entrance is so good in like the coffin almost. If it's not Aleister Black, then I think the answer is disband Judgment Day, unfortunately. That's how you fix it.
The problem is Aleister Black is too gothic for them.
But that was OG Judgment Day, right? That was like, okay, if he could bring if he could bring Judgment Day back to what it was originally, like just 3 angry goth dudes. We got Goth Edge, we had original Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley. Like that was that. People wanted them to keep adding these guys or girls with like a dark aspect to them. I remember vividly everybody wanted them to add Tommaso Ciampa after that great run in NXT as the black heart of NXT, that he would have been a great addition there. Ultimately I like the route that they ended up going, becoming more like a Team Rocket from Pokemon rather than just this like goth group. But I do feel like they need a hard reset on this console. And I think a good hard reset would be an Aleister Black, but that's, it feels out of reach because Judgment Day's on Raw. That would mean Aleister's on Raw, Zelina's on SmackDown. They're married. We know they tend to keep couples together. Maybe that won't matter. I don't know. Maybe they move Judgment Day to SmackDown. I feel like they could benefit from that change of scenery. Not enough changes happened during that superstar shakeup, did they?
No. It depends on what's the vibe that Judgment Day want. I think Dom would be better off in his own faction. I've always said this recently, is that Dom is he feels young. He feels refreshing. He feels like he could capture a demographic that the WWE could kind of explore more, like they did with Kaiser and ISO Speed. Just this young, kind of just nonchalant, always in the not caring about authority. And I think Dom's is such a good vibe with that. And then we have Liv Morgan and Raquel. That trio right there is set. I think Carlito is the odd man out, unfortunately, for anything the Judgment Day does going forward. And you can't. I had this dumb thought. I'm gonna admit right now, dumb thought. Add an LWO or Legato member in there just to help. Don't you dare go! Don't you dare go! They need help too. Okay, Legato and LWO need help too. Why not Santos Escobar? Why not him, dude? There's just so many options. Give Dom some love. Give Legato some love. You don't want LWO to be around to the point where all of a sudden Penta's LW. Oh, you don't want that.
I hated everything about what you just said. Why are you the way that you are?
No, I'm just
everyone listening to this podcast just became an angrier version of themselves by listening to this.
I'm explaining to people that Judgment Day and this faction, LWO, that faction, Legado, that faction, are all in the same boat, brother.
Bro,
They're in
I
the
feel
same
like
boat.
what you just said is the
Yes.
equivalent of like, look at this dirty floor. Let me clean it with more shit. That's not how you clean things, brother. That's not how you fix it. You don't add more problem to the problem. They're having problems over there. Let's add that problem to this problem. No! What are you doing?
I'm trying to explain to you.
And you didn't ask if this was a safe place. So I'm gonna roast you. You did not set the groundwork to ask that this was a safe place. So I'm gonna say that was stupid, and I hate you for it.
I'm just saying that Judgment Day is in a place that needs help, and the WWE is too on the nose with their factions.
Mm-hmm. And now Cruz del Toro to the rescue.
Latino LWO. like they're too on the nose. They're too on the nose, brother. Mix it up, man. Put some people that don't belong. Like, put Tongalo in Judgment Day. Why not, dude? Mix it up. Put some. I mean, Tongalo was Mexican at one point.
That's true.
WWE.
That's true.
Put them all together. I just feel that if they do add Aleister Black, it'd be a strange choice, but it'd be a fun choice. I mean, look at the White Six. Even them, they're having trouble too, man. Put Uncle Howdy in. I don't care.
Stop it.
Let's figure it out.
I still want Dominic to go up against the Wyatt Six at some point. What do you mean? That's what you mean? That's not what you mean at all.
No, I mean, like, mingle these guys, American made. Just put it all together, dude. These factions are like, what's Alpha Academy doing? Maybe they're doing TikToks. Like, well,
okay, but the thing with Gunther, I thought that was come on, that was awesome.
So that was sold.
Dude, that was so good. I love that match. That might be what
Raw was great.
Yeah, that might have been one of the most entertaining squash matches ever. Because one of the things that I said in the Raw review, exclusively available on Patreon, is that the magic of what we saw with Tozawa and Gunther is that everyone came out looking better than they did going in. Gunther went in, got more heel heat, became a bigger piece of crap. Alpha Academy and Tozawa went in as lovable, came out even more lovable, came out more respected. And then Jey Uso got to make the save. Everyone came out looking great in that squash match, and that is a rarity in squash matches. Normally a squash match is a one-sided affair. You're just there to make this dude look good. But it was just so well executed that Tozawa made this dude look good, but this dude also made Tozawa look good in that 2-minute match. Brilliantly executed squash match.
Santino in the Chamber, man. That's what it reminded me of.
Oh, it was such a good time. Also on Patreon.
Also on Patreon. Coming soon. Match Club. Yeah, absolutely. I love the Tozawa and Gunther thing, but that's what I mean. Like, I feel like every faction in the WWE has lost steam. Even the Bloodline lost steam. Even the faction of the big three of Jade Cargill, Naomi, and Bianca Belair lost steam. A lot of steam being lost everywhere, man. And I'm just a Lorax.
A lot of steam.
I'm just a Lorax speaking for the trees. That's just me. All right. I'm asking questions. That's all I'm asking you. You remember when AJ Styles had the Good Brothers? Where did they go?
They're gone. They're gone.
And then that's the thing. That's what happened. I mean, Los Garças look great.
PFC's gone.
PFC is gone. I think like LWO, when they had that match against New Day, and I know your problems with New Day, but I think LWO, they're trying to do what they're trying to do with Los Garza, like give LWO some matches so that way they could show out their athleticism and maybe they could start moving, like get the ball rolling. I mean, Los Garza, I'm all in. Like
they're cooking.
Like I want them.
They're doing it right there.
Right, they're doing it over there. So I'm hoping that LWO can do it too, and I think maybe that's why they shelved Ray for a little bit to see if LWO can sink or swim without Ray. And if they sink, then put him in Judgment Day. I don't know, dude. Like, come on, like let's shake it up around these factions that are in the mid card here.
No, I can get behind that. I think they need to shake up the New Day. They need to shake up the New Day. No, listen. I'm on this train, but the customer service of this train has been subpar. Sancho,
did you write a straight face?
Comment?
Did you write a comment?
I've not yet. This is my comment. This is going to be my formal complaint to the conductor of the train. Well, my first question to you is, sir, do you have no criticisms of what they're doing with the New Day, or are you going to sit here and blindly tell us that it's amazing? Where do you lie? Where do you
I
lie?
want to hear your complaint first. Why am I going to shoot myself in
Okay.
the foot before I hear your complaint? Don't
That's just
set
a
me up like
classic.
that.
It's a classic
Don't
sales
don't
tactic. See if
don't
I
do
can fool you with it.
don't do to me what they did to me at Circuit City one day when they brought me into the back of the room. In the back room, they go, "You know what you did?" And I'm like, "What do you mean? What did I do?" Like, you know what you did? And I'm like, "Oh, I gave a discount to my friend on headphones, and then they fired me. Don't do that to me."
Dang, that's what happened to you. That was your
Uh,
villain origin story. What kind of discount
Dude,
did you give him?
this is the employee's discount, but it's like it was my boy from middle school. I mean, what do you want me to do, dude? He wanted some discount on some headphones, and then you fire me, and then you lead me out the back of the store, and it's one of those places where I have to go all the way around the shopping center.
Bro, that can't
That's
believe
why
you.
that place is bankrupt. This place is bankrupt because
Dude,
it
I
fired people like me.
I bankrupt Target. I would find items that were incorrectly listed. Like there was like a set of 5 Nintendo Wii U's at the time that instead of
Yeah.
250 were coming up as $25. And I just pulled them all out of stock and I just called my dad, come buy all 10 of these Wii U's for $25, brother. And sold them to my dad for $25 so we could sell them on Facebook Marketplace. Target's defunct in Canada, so ho ho! Oh, sorry, how Liv Morgan would laugh. Come get me. I love that Liv Morgan laugh. It cracks me up every time.
I like her spin when she comes out of the ring, like the entrance.
Yeah. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, the New Day sucks ass. Look, it's not their fault. It's and this is the thing. It's not their fault. It is what's being put in front of them. It is this almost like they don't.
Don't blame LWO.
I'm not going to blame LWO, but I will say that feuding with LWO when Rey Mysterio is not there definitely feels like a major side quest, almost too beneath the New Day, in my humble opinion. I believe that if the end goal is something to do with Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania, that's cool. That's great for New Day. You know, it's Rey Mysterio. But in this current setup, what they have, they're not contributing to the tag team division. Their promos, when they have something to say, are good. But now, like 9 out of 10 times, their promos are, you don't let us say the thing that we want to say. And then that's it. And it's like, well, you could have just said it, brother. You literally could have just said it. It's not working for me, but I know it's not their fault because when what they're allowed to do, I think they do it well. But the thing that they're being put to do is bad.
Is not working for me?
It's not working for me. It's not working for me. Was it working for you, Mr. Conductor? You're fully behind this? You're fine with feuding with Hat Guy, no Hat Guy?
I want you to go back to the VOD and listen to that because you said, "Isn't that working for me?"
That is not what I sounded. I did not sound like I did not sound like Baron Trump saying, "I want my suitcase."
That's what you sound like. Isn't that working for me? Listen here, buddy. Is this the same place?
Okay, now you've set it up. All right, go ahead.
All right. Listen here. What they should do is because Rey Mysterio has been taken out by the New Day, they should have in place Kofi Kingston in charge of the locker room and cause problems for the entire locker room, like the mid card. Like they should have backstage segments where, oh, we don't have water bottles or we don't have this, we don't have that, and Kofi's just like laying down the law, and they could lean more on the comedic side of New Day where they have these like little wrestlers court and Kofi's the one passing judgments and he's unfair and he's causing issues and like everybody's complaining in the locker room, so they end up hating the New Day more. Just something to do while they're trying to figure out if they're gonna make them tag team champions again, because clearly there is no interest in putting them against the War Raiders yet because they're building up the War Raiders. So I feel that wrestling in general is missing those comedic backstage segments. Like, remember when Rey Mysterio was working out and he pulled the thing down? Like, we need more moments like that backstage, and I think the New Day is the perfect vehicle for that if they go down the path of taking over the locker room leader position with Kofi Kingston, because they kind of brought that up in the programs. Like, dude, I've been here for 20 plus years. Why not? I'm the locker room leader. So it'd be cool to see that aspect, just to give the New Day something to do. Because I think you said it before in the podcast that they did not capitalize on the biggest heel turn modern day heel turn of all time. It was like it was my number one moment. Remember when we talked about it? It was my number one moment. And I still think there's plenty in the tank for New Day as heels. Their entrance music is badass. Their gear is awesome. Their everything presentation wise is awesome. and their in-ring style is cool. Their issue is like they have no one to go up against. It reminds me of when LA Knight became United States champion and he had no one to feud with. So either the New Day need to go to NXT to, face Axiom just to get some new heat on them, or go to TNA to do something interesting beyond that. They just need more. They need a bigger dragon to slay. Right now they have nothing to do, and give them a comedic thing to do backstage. Like when Stone Cold was hurt, in 2003, what did Stone Cold become? The general manager,
the sheriff Stone Cold.
Sheriff. So give Kofi the locker room leader and kind of like make fun of the Wrestlers Court era that we've always heard about with Undertaker, and have fun with that. So that's what I would do for New Day as the conductor of this New Day train. I would love for them to take a stop in Comedic Town, in Clown Town. Are you down to Clown Town?
I'm always down to Clown.
Would you stay at the Clown Motel? You ever heard of this hotel?
I've heard of this motel. No, I wouldn't. I don't like clowns that much. I'm down to clown. I'm down to be clownish. It's just like day clownish. It's just me, Oos. I'm down for that.
Stupid.
But it got you. But no, I don't want to stay in a hotel that's got clowns in it. No way. Pass. Just like that Flamingo Hotel in Vegas. There's like a flamingo themed hotel where everything's pink. No, thank you. That's murder. That's where murder takes place.
Oh, the Flamingo.
Yeah.
That's a flamingo. Yeah, the casino.
What did you think I say?
I thought you meant the Tropicana.
I very clearly said flamingo.
But why do you hate flamingo? You know why the flamingos are pink?
They eat too much shrimp. That's right.
Ain't that something?
That's crazy. Dude, did you know that there's a pink dolphin? Dead serious. Google right now Amazonian pink dolphin. It'll blow your mind. I did a
search on or off.
No, it's not, this is not something sexual. I did an entire grade school project on the Amazonian pink dolphin. It's literally a pink dolphin.
It's so disgusting looking.
It's weird, right? It's been a while since I've Googled the pink dolphin.
It's been a while.
Is it in a minute?
I don't even want to know.
Doesn't it? It looks kind of he's sick, like he's ill, doesn't it?
It looks like yeah. It looks like he forgot to get dressed when he walked out the
door. He just came out of a hot shower. But yeah, the pink dolphin is real. Is a real thing. Crazy. Dude, we're at that point of the podcast, bro.
Oh no, it's wrestling related, dude.
Ow, how the hell is the pink dolphin?
That the New Day is in its pink dolphin phase?
Oh. I guess we're waiting for them to fully blossom into a proper dolphin.
Well, it's like they're again, add Ridge Holland, easy heat. Easy.
That would have been hilarious. Honestly, it would have been if they added Ridge Holland to replace Big E. That would have been wild, absolutely wild,
heinous, diabolical.
Diabolical. Okay,
the worst thing. I've never heard of a faction doing that. Like, I don't think I've ever heard that before. Let's add the dude that hurt my dude.
I'm the dude that hurt the dude that.
I love it.
I think the last little bit here that we need to talk about that we haven't really hit on is what's going on with Penta, Ludwig, Pete Dunne. Is this doing it for you? Is it serving the purpose? It's working for me too, actually. I like that Penta loss, honestly. I'm glad that they just got it out of the way. He didn't get pinned, but the loss and the streak is out. Like, we don't have to hold this to this like sacred thing, the Penta win streak, even though it was only like 5 wins. 5 for Penta, that's right. But I think that did wonders for the character of Ludwig Kaiser, in my opinion.
He needed that win so badly.
And the way he won too was great.
Yeah, it was great. I love the setup of Pete Dunne, Ludwig doing something, and then all of a sudden, the Penta would come in. I love their chemistry, and Penta's become the workhorse of Monday Night Raw. If he has matches like that, where he could just go. There was a moment where he was doing 1,000 things and he just kept going. I was like, dude, the stamina of Penta is amazing. And then now that I know he's working with a torn bicep, that's all I could look at. Like, that thing is still moving, and it's unbelievable that Penta could have such a ride. And the whole time I'm wondering, like, when are they, like, I think Penta's ready for singles gold. He needs to start working towards his way to that soon.
Mm-hmm. But
Because
I think the best.
he can't be a bout machine, you know. I think they're trying to advertise him as a bout machine, and he's gonna be a solid bout machine. And I keep telling people, Santi, in my watch party, I'm like, dog, this is like a quarter of what Penta could do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is a very nerf Penta. Very, very nerf Penta. But you know, you want Penta to take that leap forward to bigger things, and I think that building a lower tier opponent for him to get a proper feud in Ludwig Kaiser is the way, right? Let's build Ludwig so that he becomes like a proper actual story feud for Penta, not just like you said, having good matches for the sake of good matches. And then off of that, use that as a launching point for something bigger for Penta. But in order to utilize this as a launching point, you have to elevate those other players that are in the picture like Ludwig Kaiser. That's why I thought it was a brilliant choice.
Is it interesting that Penta booking has been better than LA Knight's booking when it comes to like those kind of things, where we were like, LA Knight needs to build up the mid card of the SmackDown division, and it just didn't happen. Andrade, Carmelo, you would think that they would be able to have that. They were getting all pushed up, but Penta is seemingly being able to push up Pete Dunne and Kaiser, with his intensity, with his moves, with his matches, and I think what works really well for Penta is what he's been doing outside of the ring. His Chris Van Vliet interview, amazing. His video with Sheamus, Shamos, he would say like that.
Shamos
was amazing. Shamos. So there's good things for Penta, and I keep bringing up LA Knight because that's the only example that I have in this thing, like you mentioned, building up cast of characters to feud with, and LA Knight just could not do that with Carmelo and Andrade. And now he's feuding with, who is he feuding with? Jacob? I don't even know what LA Knight's doing.
He's with Shinsuke and The Miz.
I like that. LA Knight and Miz need to be. They should just stay together for a while until.
But The Miz is so much better than LA Knight on the mic. It exposes him. It exposes him.
But The Miz, I've already said it like 1,000 times too. Miz needs to be built up for Cena. Like the Cena needs to go down his ghost of characters, and then all of a sudden you hear bum 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 bum.
Rusev
Day. Dude, Rusev Day in 2018, mad over in the Royal Rumble.
So over. They killed it. They did anything. I've said this before. Anything that got over when it wasn't supposed to get over.
Oh, they killed it.
They killed it. You know, like if it got over and it wasn't over because the Overlord and the Machine said it was supposed to be over, it got buried. And Rusev Day was one of those.
It got killed in a crappy way too.
Yeah. True Long Island IZ, the Zack Ryder TV like show on YouTube killed. All of it just killed because they still
available?
Yeah. I actually went back and watched one like a couple of months ago just to see if they were still around. They're terrible, but I love them. They were a great moment of their time.
Ew. It's like watching 90s television.
Yeah, it's a relic of early 2010 social media for sure.
Where you're just walking around the kitchen and just talking to the camera, just doing nothing?
Sometimes that's what he would do, yeah. Yeah, just cutting promos from his kitchen or from his bedroom or something. All right, well, Sancho, let's wrap this up since we're going to be doing a separate conversation here for Elimination Chamber. Sure. Shall we do new heat order here to wrap things up once the go home to Elimination Chamber? Do you have a pen this time, sir?
I stole my daughter's marker, and I still have it.
Oh, nice. Yeah, she's never getting this marker back.
This time I sold my 3-year-old's crayon.
Ah, dastardly evil. What a heel. Boo.
All right. Hey, everybody. This is part of the show where we talk about who has the buzz, who else is buzz, not necessarily the best wrestlers in the WWE and both SmackDown and Raw. But sometimes we do NXT, sometimes we do TNA, sometimes we do AEW. Look, everybody, we would love to cover AEW and TNA. We're just two men.
Bro, we're spread thin already as is.
But one day, with your support, we'll get there. We're chugging along.
Chugga.
Here is the list from last week. This looks like I'm a serial killer.
Dude, this is so Zodiac Killer vibes.
Yeah, I know, right? Number 10, Vic Joseph. Number 9, Damian Priest. Number 8, LA Knight. Number 7, Miz. Number 6, Sami Zayn. Number 5, KO. Number 4, you notice in one of our subtitles it said Gunther.
Oh,
GOOTHGO.
jeez.
Number 3, Tiffany Stratton. That's not our fault. 2 is Charlotte Flair, and 1 Jacob Fatu. Number 1, brother.
Fatu.
Can I go Liv and Raquel?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, throw it in there. And I think number 2, I would put Bianca and Naomi.
What about The Rock, dude?
Oh, brother, Rock's number 1. I'm sorry. If we're talking buzz, it's Rock number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cody
like
too.
we're still like it was the main conversation of today's pod. It's what everyone's talking about. That needs to be number 1.
Okay.
I think it's Rock 1,
Yeah.
Cody 2, and then we can put in the women's tag team
Yes.
extravaganza.
And then Liz, Raquel, and then Bianca, Naomi.
Yeah.
It's a good. I would like to put the bidding for Seth Rollins at number
I think
5.
Seth Rollins at 4 or 5, whatever it is there. Yeah. Go for it.
Okay. Any love for? There's a list. Look at
I'm
this.
gonna say Gunther.
Does it look more?
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
All right, Gunther or
Yeah. No.
CM Punk Logan? Oh, Gunther with that match was Tozawa.
No, yeah. I think it's Gunther.
Okay. Tozawa at 10?
I think
Or
Tozawa
7?
cracks the list. I think Tozawa, we gotta put him somewhere on this list. He was great.
I'll put him at 8.
Okay, at 8's fine.
Okay.
We had the Kevin Owens home invasion. Got to throw that in there.
I guess.
What else would you put?
I found interesting was the interview that they did with Sami Zayn. And he's like, oh, I went to his house and then I was standing out there and his mom saw me. I just wanted someone to film that sketch, of him like, hey, Sammy, what are you doing here? Like, oh, no, nothing, just cleaning the windows, something like that. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where they're stretching out the promos and they hate to Kevin Owens and Sammy, like, I don't need to see anymore, right? I know I'm going to get a banger of a match, like, are they just trying to add more fire to build up to what, like, an exploit?
This is their mania, man. It's their mania. That's why they're putting a lot of time into it because this is Canadian mania.
All right. You feel like it's there's talk to boot around here.
Oh, brother, we're just talking
Neck of
about
the
this.
woods.
You should hear what we're talking about, eh?
Hey, go down to the Tim Hortons, eh? Who's 7, 9, and 10? No love for Dom. No love for Finn. No love for Braun. No love for Jacob. No love for Solo. No love for Logan.
I think Logan. I think we could talk about Logan here.
I mean, he did pretty good against CM Punk.
Yeah. Put Logan in here.
Yeah. How about Logan at 10?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think maybe even Punk at 9.
Dude, Logan slapped.
Dude, all I kept thinking was when Jake Paul took Mayweather's hat. Gotcha hat.
I wish CM Punk had a hat for that moment.
That would have been great if he did.
And then it would have been like him in the friendship beads. The whole time he's wearing CM Punk's hat.
All right, so we need a 7 here. What are we missing here? We're missing something. I know that we are.
I mean, Jacob and Solo had to do Damian, Braun Strowman.
Yeah, I would put probably Jacob Fatu here. The way that he's very clearly being set up.
Yeah.
As one of the bigger bad guys on Friday Night SmackDown, the way he's kind of like the leader and now the one that's ringing around Solo Sikoa, I'd put Jacob Fatu in that spot. Put it there.
Let me see. Let me look around. Looking on my Insta feed. No love for Lyra, Dakota Kai.
No, it's a good match. It was a good match,
Good match. Any love for Penta? Maybe Penta?
No, I'd still like frig, I already forgot who we said.
Jacob Fatu.
Fatu. I think Jacob Fatu is the more talked about here.
Hold on. No love for Tiffany Stratton?
Nope.
Dude, that bump she took. Ooh.
Which
she
one?
Jumped on the outside. When she jumped to the outside.
That's how Charlotte got hurt, man.
I know.
That's how Charlotte got hurt. That's a scary move.
Her shoulder, man. Her shoulder got pulled out there. All right. I'm feeling good.
Okay.
You know what I like about SmackDown, the way it started with Cody walking up and Nick Aldis was like, hey man, You're not wrestling tonight. I got a call. There's no one we could call. Oh
There's no
no,
reason for him to not be able to wrestle, by the way.
Cody or
Yeah,
Nick
why
Aldis?
wouldn't he be able to? Was he just so starstruck by what happened with The Rock?
No, he was told that he can't wrestle by the Rock. All right, there's the list right there. These are the people that I'm going after. That's what it looks like. Number 10, Logan Paul. Number 9, CM Punk. Number 8, Tozawa. Number 7, Jacob Fatu. Number 6, Gunther. Number 5, Seth Rollins. Number 4, Bianca and Naomi. Number 3, Liv and Raquel. And number 2, Cody. And number 1, the final boss.
It's gonna be Soul Line rules.
Do you think like he puts ice cubes on his?
He always,
forearm?
it's like he has
Right?
goosebumps on command. It's crazy.
Right? It's
Yeah.
like if he was, like in the X-Men, Xavier Woods of the Xavier Woods Professor Xavier, where he had the School of the Gifted. That's his
power, just getting himself goosebumps. All right, well, folks, thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Wrestling is Cool podcast. An extra special thank you goes out to our $15 patrons. They are the producers of this show. Thank you for supporting Sancho and I and what we do. It allows us to do it as often as we do it.
The Chaperone this Friday, everybody.
The Chaperone.
The Chaperone.
Okay.
After SmackDown on $15.
Let's go through these guys. We have, I agree with every Sancho's opinion. First patron, Crazy Dude says RIP Duke Hudson, Aaron Garcia, Adam Pacina, Aiden, Adrienne, Akai is gone, Alex Regal, Alex, American Nightmare, Cody Lander, Anthony, Arrogance, Ashley, Asperlitz, Ozzy Kingslayer, Austin Gregory, Authentic Chocolate, Bailey Saunders, Beckham Dragonov, Ben Farton, Barry, BFT is the skull crushing finale with less steps, Be Hostile, Big Bronson, Meat, Blast Past 64, Bluebot, Bluefish, Brad, Brady Burdick, Brady Keaton, Brady McGlynn, Brandon Jamlin, Brock Buster, Bryce Burt, Caleb Williams, Callis Cavan, Cameron Noel, Cameron Waring, Cameron Talks Wrestling. Lots of Camerons. Carlos Gonzalez, CB, Chase, Chimchars Collectibles, Chris Butner Lucas, Chris Easties, Chris Eric Clark Jr., Christian. It's Christian. We have Christian Billick, Clay, CM Drunk, Colin Roach, conductor of the Pentatrain, Connor Huffman, Connor Williamson, Corey King, Dalton Dunbar, Danny Mann, Dark Flame, Darren Dunstan, Derek Barnhart, Devin, D. Lopez, Dom Should Win Everything, Drake Hughley, Drew Baumgarn, Dumsky, Dwayne the Dog Johnson, Dylan Kana, Eduardo Avila, El Yoshi, Emmanuel Holmes, Aaron Thorne, everybody loves Henry Ramon. I don't know why that made me laugh. Isatch, Isatch, Just a Theory, and Austin Theory, R.I.P. Matt Pat.
He's not dead.
R.I.P. Matt Pat.
Not dead.
Fishing with Papa J, Fletcher Walpole, Floating, FMFCMA, Forever Wrestling, Franklin L. Everett, Fruit, Gamerscape, George Valdez, Gilbert Deans, Grayson Swan, Groovy, GXA Man, Hartfeld, Haystakes, Hoodie Cam, I'm Rick James, bitch, Isaac McFlurry, Issa David, it's me, no, it's Christian, Ivan.
Again, Christian?
Yeah.
How many Christians?
Jack Gibley, Jack Parker, Jackson, Jacob Mueller, Jacob Pena, Jacob Staffel, Jaden Davis, Jake Shavaya, Jacob Kafuz, James Brian Balago, Jason De Dios, Javier Rodriguez, Jalen Steele, JC Worley, Jean Carlos Capellan, Jeremiah Finley, Jesse Guerrero, Jahihi Ahihi, JJ, Joe Romig, Jolly Green Giant.
Wrong. Go back.
Jahihi Ahihi. Is that better? Okay. Yes. Jolly Green Giant, Jordan Lynch, Jordan Marte, Jaz B, Jose Ceja, Jose Santi's cousin, Josh Sutton, Judson Daniels, Juicy J, Justice, Justin Brooks, Justin Perkins, Caden Rivers, Kai Lone Star Jordan, Caden Bailey, Kuwaiti Rick Boogs, Kyrie Lawrence, Kyle Hansett, Lamore Marv, Leon, Lewis Newlands, Liam, Lil Shifu, Luis Aguilar, Luke Parker, Luke Sika, Manly Man, Marnie YCSM, Mason Kirk, Matthew Dollar, Matthew Oberg, Matthew Watkins, Max Salazar, Mekki, Meredith Lee, Michael Purnell, Michael Paz, Michael Vera, Miguel Hudson, Miguel Paredes, Mikey Rada, Mitchell X, Muhammad Al-Banai, Monte Moore. My dad left to go get Finn Balor's singles push. Nadeem Maya, Nathaniel Stevenson, Nellen Zach,
He'll be back.
Nicholas Kyle, Nighthawk, Nina Ure, Nilquid, Nyquil Pad, Noah Burden, Obi Nobi, Oliver Hammonds, Osam 62, Pat R, Pat McMark, Patrick Mahomes crying, Peter Novak, Pim Caw, Preston Smith, Frody's birthday today, Puke 1904. Why the year? You know, like
I don't know.
What's up with 1904 and Puke? Puppet Spanker Johnson, Reaper God, Rick Marr, 1R, Ricky Dutcher, RKO, Robert Rogers, Rocky B, Royce Ruffo, Riley, Ced Vega, Sam Duke, Sancho West, more like Toncho Vest. Santi, the golden boy who oils up on Sundays. Santi wants Sancho to give him the glaze. Saudi Rig Boogs, Scotty Bear, 92. Scrivus God, Semba, Seymour Butts, Shaggy WWE, Shane, Shay Carlin, Shitstain Nakamura, Simon Scareborn, Sip God, Sir Alberton, Skirgis Lism, Slow Toke Rodriguez, Solo, I love you, Solo, fuck you, Summer V1, Squirt Angle.
That's basically what happened with Jacob Fatu.
It is. You spoiled the story. Stephanie Vacher, lookalike contest in my bedroom, Stucky, Sugar Shane, Super Malachi Galaxy, Taco Blowfish, Tanner Cloudes, Taylor Moon, the final fucking boss, the final pebble, the Nacho Man, Gabe D. This is not a safe place. Timmy Fitzmaurice, Toasty Boy, Tobias Burnett, Tom Lehman, Trent Head, Two Belt Tality, Ty, Tyler Freeze, Tyler Logan, V Charles, Vegan Penguin, Juan Pablo. Where's that referee? The Rock's trying to fuck me. White Mexican, William Newton.
Your soul, brother.
Willie Cecil, Wo JC, WWE Undisputed Dumbasser Nightmare, Xavier D. Lewis, Zev Javier Izquierdo, Zax Mira, Deadshot, Zach Griffin, Zach Hewitt, Zach Butcher, Zay2K, Zergzito, Lord BBNJ. Thank you all for supporting
Santi,
the show.
Is this a safe place? What if Hulk Hogan tried to tell Cody, don't sell your soul, Cody?
Brother. All right, folks, we'll end it on that note. You guys take care. Be wonderful people. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.